Hi everyone, back to Zoey and Sassafras, Book 2, Monsters and Mold. Chapter 10, Success? It was hard to wait, but mold needs time to grow. So Sassafras and I did our best to stay busy over the next 2 days. We went for walks in the forest with my mom. We hunted for bugs. I built cat-sized forest houses for Sassafras using sticks and giant leaves. Finally, we couldn't distract ourselves anymore. I grabbed my science notebook and ran out to the barn to see how the experiment was going. The first bag I checked was the bag with nothing added. There was definitely mold everywhere. Next, I looked at the oil bag. There was some mold, but not as much as in the nothing bag, so oil had worked a little bit. Then I looked at the salt, vinegar, and sugar bags. I squealed so loudly that Sassafras jumped into the air with all his fur puffed out. I dropped my science notebook and grabbed Sassafras and twirled him around. "It worked, Sassafras, it worked. Salt and vinegar and sugar all worked." Right then, the barn doorbell rang. Perfect timing. I ran to the door and flung it open. I was so excited I hugged Gorp even before I even said hello. "It worked! I know what to do," I cheered. Gorp's eyes got huge. "It worked?" He was so happy he didn't even notice Sassafras purring and weaving around his legs. I grabbed Gorp's arm and pulled him into the barn. "Look, we have 3 choices: salt, sugar, and vinegar." I held up the bags. A smile lit up Gorp's face. "Which should we choose?" "Good question. You have an awful lot of fur. Let me run in the house and see what we have the most of." I was halfway out the door when I heard a scuffling noise behind me. I turned around to see Gorp backing into a corner of the barn with a terrified look on his face. I guess he'd finally noticed the purring Sassafras at his feet. I scooped up my cat and ran into the house. Chapter 11, Decisions. I set Sassafras down on the kitchen floor and opened the pantry. The first thing I saw was the salt container. I checked and it was almost empty. I scooted a bag of flour to the side and found a brand new giant bag of sugar. That might be the winner. Finally, I looked down at the very bottom of the pantry and found our stash of vinegar. I shook the bottle. Not much left. I'd been making too many baking soda and vinegar volcanoes. Baking soda and vinegar volcanoes. Sugar was the official winner. I set the big bag down on the kitchen table with a thunk. "What else do I need, Sassafras?" Sassafras impatiently paced by the back door. He wanted more time with Gorp. I grabbed a plastic pitcher and a big wooden spoon to mix the sugar water. I added some water to the pitcher and piled everything in my arms. I took little steps so I didn't splash the water everywhere. And there she is. There's the pitcher. Tilbringera. She's going to carry the water in that, and a big wooden spoon, and then the sugar. And there's Sassafras's tail. Sassafras meowed at me the whole way to the barn. I guess I wasn't moving fast enough for him. Once we got in, I added a good bit of sugar to the water and stirred with my spoon for a minute or 2. Then I looked from the pitcher to Gorp. We should take this outside. It might get a little bit messy." He went outside and I checked Gorp's fur. "Hey, there isn't any mold right now." "Oh, that's only because I just bathed in the stream. Is that okay?" "That's perfect. The sugar water should stop the mold from growing on your fur, like it did with the fur sample in the bag. I'm going to, I guess, pour a little on at a time and spread it around with my spoon. Does that sound okay?" Gorp nodded and stood very still. Sassafras saw me raise the pitcher up and scooted out of the way. He hates getting wet. I poured and spread the liquid as best I could. After a few minutes, I was pretty sure I'd given Gorp's fur a good coating of sugar water. Ta-da! You're good to go. If you want to come back in a day or two, I can mix up some more for you. I can't believe I'm going to the monster ball, Gorp cheered. I'm a bit damp, so I think I'll take a nice long walk to make sure I'm dry before I settle down for the night. That's a great plan, Gorp. I'm so happy for you. We waved goodbye to each other, and I brought all my supplies into the house. After I put everything we'd used in the sink to wash later, I grabbed my science journal and wrote down the results of my monster fur experiment. I was so happy I'd solved Gorp's mold problem. But as I closed my science journal, I realized I'd forgotten to get a photo of him again. Maybe he'd come back for more sugar water in a few days, and I could ask him then. We'll read chapter 12 next time. Bye-bye.